Hello students, I hope everyone is doing well. Today I will continue with the same lesson, chemical changes and reaction. In the previous video I had a talk about the general condition necessary for chemical changes. Today I will continue with the general characteristics of the chemical changes. Let us see how we will understand that the chemical changes gets over. Now, first changes we generally see that the one of the product is the evolution of the gas. So generally the gases which comes out are generally colorless, odorless gas we see. But some of the gases are also there which are having characteristics odor, and some of the gases are also having characteristic colors. So they can be easily recognized, and with the various tests they can be identified the gases. But what about the colorless, odorless gas? They can also be tested by the general test. So let us take one example. So one of the product can be gas also. Zinc plus dilute H2SO4 gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Now hydrogen gas is a colorless, odorless gas, but it comes out with the effervescence. This is the characteristics. And it is the characteristics of this. Now it comes with the effervescence. Now what is the term effervescence means? Means in a liquid it forms bubbles. The gas forms up bubbles. Then what is the bubble? Gas bubbles. That means the formation of gas bubbles in a liquid during the chemical reaction occurs. So it comes out with this. So effervescence is one of the characteristics we can take. And how we will taste this gas? If you bring a burning splinter near it, it burns with a pop sound. How it burns out? It burns with a pop sound, and it is a very confirmatory test because it is the only gas which burns with a pop sound when a burning splinter brought near it. Now this is one of the very important characteristics we generally see in a chemical reaction. Now coming to the next point. Next point is the change of color. Now change of color, we will see that let us take one example for this, that the color changes. When we put any metal to any of the solution, then the color gets slowly changes. Let us take an example. Iron, when dipped into a blue solution of copper sulfate is blue in color. And iron, it is a grey metal. When it changes to, and since iron in the activity series metal, iron is above copper. Copper is weaker than iron. Then what will happen? Iron will take the salt of the copper, and copper will be lying as a metal. So what will happen? FeSO4 plus Cu. Copper is lying as a metal. Copper deposit. And what is the color of the copper? It is a red deposit. So what we will see from outside, that what is the color of the ferrous sulfate? FeSO4 is ferrous sulfate. It is a light green in color. It is a green solution. So what is the color change you see from outside? That the blue color slowly changes to green. That with change of color we can easily say that the chemical reaction gets over, and you find red deposit in the bottom of the vessel. Now coming to the third point, formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate is also a very important point, but it occurs with few of the experiment. Let us take one example. Silver nitrate, all nitrates are soluble. Silver nitrate plus sodium chloride, all salts of sodium are also soluble in water. Now these are all aqueous. Okay, this is also aqueous, this is also aqueous. When they react, they will interchange their radical. That means AgCl plus NaNO3. Now all salts of sodium are soluble, so it is also aqueous, no problem. But AgCl is a insoluble salt, so it forms white precipitate in the solution. So it is what happened, it gives a white precipitate as one of the product. In the rest all are soluble. So it gives a white precipitate in the solution. Now coming to the another state characteristic, which is also we often find in the reaction, that the change of state. Change of state means if you can take two solid, it changes to gas. If you take two solid, changes to liquid, or two liquid changes to gas. Like this you can take. So let us take one example of this to make it understand very clearly. Ammonia, it is a gaseous state, plus HCl. HCl means not the acid I am talking about. I am talking about the HCl gas. It is also gaseous state. So two gases when joined together, when combined together chemically, It is a reversible reaction. It gives NH4Cl. First dense white fumes occur and slowly it deposits as a solid. So what is the change state? The two gases changes to solid. So in this way we find that the characteristics, the general characteristics we often find, these are the very common characteristics we often see in the chemical changes to occur. So let's go to the types of changes. How many types of chemical changes are there? Let us see now the types of chemical changes or reaction. There are basically 4 major types of chemical changes we are going to study in this class. The first type is the direct combination. It is also known as synthesis reaction. Now what is this direct combination? Direct combination means the reactant will, more than one reactant will react with each other and gives the new product. Now like A and B are the two reactants, they will react and give the new product, that is the AB. Now let us see an example. Before giving an example of this, let us see this direct combination can take place in various ways. What are the various ways? First, let us see the 3 major various ways we often come across, which are also coming under the direct combination or synthesis. First way, that means 2 different elements combines to form a compound. That means 2 simple elements will combine to form a compound. Let us see an example, very well known example we often come across. Carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. This is one of the very good well known example. Like this we can take iron plus sulfur gives iron sulfide. Like this, that means 2 different elements combine to form a new compound. This is one of the simplest way. Now what is the second way? Second way is an element and a simple compound can also give another new compound to you. This is also coming under the direct combination because they are combining and forming a new compound. So let us take an example, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a compound because 2 different elements are there. Plus oxygen, it is an element, gives carbon dioxide. Now you balance it. How it will give? With heat. That you will give. Okay. So you balance it. 2. Here also 2. I think it is balanced. Okay. This is in gaseous state. This is also gaseous state. This is also gaseous state. Similarly, another example also I can give. SO2 plus O2. You know what it will give? SO3. This is sulfide. That now you balance it. 2. Here also 2. Okay. So like this, that means an element combined with a simple compound can give another new compound to you. This is also coming under direct combination. Now coming to the next way, that means 2 simple compound or 2 different compounds can also combine to form another new compound for you. Let us take an example of this also. So what are these? Very well known example of our lab, that is ammonia plus hydrochloric acid gives, just now I have shown you in the gaseous state changing to solid state. Same example also I can give. It is a reversible reaction. NH4Cl. It is a solid. This is gaseous. It is gaseous. Now what happened? In this you see, it is a simple compound. It is a compound. It is also a compound and it is another third compound formed by the direct combination of the reaction. So these are the first type of reaction in which we find that they react and give the product. So direct combination means when they combine together chemically, give the products. The first type is over. Now coming to the second type. Second type is the decomposition reaction. Now what is decomposition reaction? Decomposition reaction is the breaking of a compound into simpler substance. Simpler substance can be elements also, can be elements and small simple compounds also. So it is means what? It can be broken, a compound is broken down into simple elements or compounds. It occurs in the presence, it can occur in the presence of heat, in the presence of light or in the presence of electricity. So let us take one example of each kind, that how it occurs. In the presence of light, first of all we will see in the presence of light how it occurs. One example, let us see AgNO3, silver nitrate. Silver nitrate in the presence of sunlight, it decomposes to silver plus nitrogen dioxide gas is evolved plus oxygen gas is evolved. Okay. So now you balance it. 2Ag plus 2NO2. So what happened? The silver nitrate solution, when it decomposes in presence of sunlight to silver, pure silver metal, plus nitrogen dioxide gases evolved, plus oxygen gases evolved. Now let us see in presence of heat. It is a very common one in presence of heat. That means we can give any example. You give copper nitrate, copper carbonate also you can give, copper carbonate. When heated, this sign is the delta sign. Delta sign is the sign of heat. We can give above the arrow to show that the heat is required in this reaction. It decomposes to copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. You can see that it has been decomposed to two simple compounds. Any more example if you want to give for this? We can also give in the presence of heat. That means mercuric oxide. When we heat mercuric oxide, it decomposes to mercury plus oxygen. Okay. So in this way, in the respective two elements also I have shown you, in respective two compounds also I have shown you. Now coming to the electricity. Electricity is the decomposition of the water. We know very well that the decomposition of water is the very good example of the electricity. In presence of electricity, the reaction goes on. So with the presence of electricity, water decomposes to hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, both are gases and balance it. Now this is it. So in this way we find that in the decomposition reaction means what? The breaking of a compound into simple elements also, can be compounds also, or can be two simple compounds also. This takes place in the presence of, can be in the presence of light, can be in the presence of heat, can be in the presence of electricity also. Decomposition reaction, when it is brought about by heat, it is also known as thermal decomposition. When it is brought about by the heat, it is known as thermal. Thermal means heat decomposition. Okay, you can also write that the decomposition reaction, when it is brought about by the heat, it is known as thermal decomposition. In decomposition reaction, you will get two related terms, thermal decomposition and thermal dissociation. So let us know, students, the basic difference between the two. The word thermal means heat. The thermal decomposition means the decomposition takes place which is caused by the heat. And here thermal dissociation means they will dissociate, means they will ionize by using the heat. Now you will ask that what is the meaning of ionization here? Ionization means what? The substance will separate them into charged particles. That means they will separate them into charged particles known as ions. That means they have been ionized. It is a process that leads to the dissociation of a neutral atom. Neutral atom means they are either in the form of molecule or atom. In that form, they will convert them into charged particle. And charged particle we know are known as ion. And this state is known as what? They are told to be being ionized. So the basic difference between the thermal decomposition and thermal dissociation is what? That it is a form of chemical decomposition caused by heat, and it is the ionization of a substance using heat. Both are using the heat, but one is being the chemical decomposition, breakdown of the compounds is going on, and one is the separation of the compound is going on. Second, it is a multi-step process. Multi-step process, decomposition can be done in one step, can be, if it is complicated compounds, then can be done in the two step. So that means the bicarbonates, then the second step, if they are having two molecules, two atoms are there, then automatically the first hydrogen will move, then the second hydrogen will move. Like this also the multi-step process. And it is a single step. That means the molecule or atom will be changed into their respective charged particle in single step. So it is a multi-step and it is a single step process. Now the third one is a very important process. It includes breakdown of a substance into two or more smaller parts using heat. Smaller parts means smaller elements or compounds. So they can be using the breakdown of a substance, the main particle is main substance, main compound is breaking down into smaller elements or compound. But here the separation of a substance into their respective ions. And now this separation is known as what? The ionization. Ionization, I have already told you this. Now, so what is the thermal dissociation? The definition comes out. What is thermal decomposition comes out? It is the process where the thermal decomposition, the chemical decomposition caused by the heat. But here, what is thermal dissociation? A simultaneous reversible reaction brought about only by heat. What is meant by this statement? Thermal dissociation means, that means they are being changed into, suppose on heating they are changing into the respective smaller compound, and on cooling again they are coming back to this. That means they are ionizing, again they are coming back to, on cooling they are coming back to the original compound. Similarly with the NH4Cl, we are seeing on heating they are changing into the respective ammonia and hydrochloric acid. But HCl gas, both are gas. See, ammonia gas and HCl gas. And similarly on cooling they are coming back to NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride. Now similarly with the nitrogen tetraoxide is being, when heated it gives 2 molecules of nitrogen dioxide, and on cooling similarly the 2 molecules of nitrogen dioxide is being cooled and changed back to the original product, that is nitrogen tetraoxide. So in this way we understand the basic difference between the thermal decomposition and thermal dissociation. Please remember at least minimum 2 points of this basic difference between the two. Now next is we will see now the thermal decomposition of certain metal compounds. In thermal decomposition of certain metal compounds, we will first see that how the thermal decomposition takes place with certain compounds. First we will see with the metal hydroxide. Let us see by taking the few of the elements in consideration with the activity series of metal. We know that the activity series of metal, the activity power goes from top to bottom. It decreases towards lower side. Then metal hydroxide. Metal hydroxide, we will see that how it reacts. We know that the potassium and sodium are very stable to heat. And what about calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper? As we go gradually downwards in the activity series of metal, we see they decompose on heating, giving the respective oxide, and water vapor is released in case of hydroxide. Now coming to the lowest activity series metal, that is mercury and silver, they cannot give the respective oxide, they give only the metal and oxygen gases released along with water vapor. Now let us see. Let us take some examples. So as we know, these are very stable to heat, they cannot react. Coming to this any metal we can take. Let us take zinc. Zinc hydroxide, on decomposing it gives zinc oxide plus water vapor. Let us take one metal I have taken from this category, one metal I am taking from this category, lower activity series metal. Let us take silver, AgA, OH. I am taking the silver is having the 2 variable valency, it is coming. So I am taking the first one. So AgOH. Okay. So it is giving Ag plus oxygen gas plus water vapor. Now you balance it. If I give 4 here, and here also 4, this is 2O2 means 2. Oh, okay, it is O2, here also O is there, and it is 2H2. Okay, so in this way it becomes one metal I have, with the metal I am showing with the lower activity series metal, and with the middle metal I have taken from the activity series, I am seeing that it is giving the respective oxide and water vapor is released. Now coming to the another metal compound, that is metal carbonate. Carbonate, as we are talking about carbonate, that means which gas will be released? Carbon dioxide. Similarly, again we will refer this activity series metals. The potassium and sodium, they are very stable to the heat, and they will not give they are stable. But one thing is there also, they are soluble also in water. So you know all salts of sodium and potassium are soluble in water. Now coming to this, they are decomposing. Decompose on heating and giving the respective metal oxide, and this time which gas will be given? Carbon dioxide, since we are heating metal carbonates. So let us take one example of this also. So magnesium carbonate on heating giving what? Magnesium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is from this category I have taken. Now let us take one category from this side. So what it will give? Again I am taking with this only silver carbonate. Silver is having 1 or 2. I am taking the silver 1 if I have taken, then Ag2 CO3, then giving what? Now no more it will give Ag plus oxygen gas will be given, plus carbon dioxide gas is also given. Okay, now you balance it. 2, then 4 it is coming, 4, then here also 2C is there, 2C. Okay, now coming to the next, bicarbonates. Again carbon dioxide gas will be given. Now when bicarbonates are being heated, these are very stable, but what about the sodium bicarbonates? They will react, they will give the stable carbonate now, stable carbonate with them. So bicarbonate is a acid salt, so they will give the stable carbonate with them, and water vapor will be given, and since it is a carbonate, so it will also give the carbon dioxide gas. Similarly with the calcium also you can take, from here also you can take, it will give the same thing, and with the lower one they will not react so much. Similarly they will give the respective carbonate, stable carbonate, and water vapor and carbon dioxide gas. Let us take one example, since they will react. Sodium bicarbonate on reacting heat, with the help of heat, sodium carbonate plus H2O plus CO2. That means sodium bicarbonate when reacts with this, they gives. Now you balance it. Na2, so here 2. I think this is balanced. Okay, so in this way they give. Now let us take another example from this category. I am taking from this. Let us take calcium then. Calcium bicarbonate. Why I am taking this one in bracket? Calcium balance is 2. On heating they will give the stable salt calcium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide gas. Okay, now coming to the next, that is the metal nitrates. Now nitrates means which gas it will give? Nitrogen dioxide gas it will give. Again this one will be sodium and potassium. What they will do? They will also decompose to give the respective nitrites and oxygen gas. So let us take one example. This is very common. They will decompose and give the respective oxide and nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide and oxygen is common, and the respective oxide will be given. Now first one we will see then the next one also, and this category also the same thing. The respective the oxide will be given, the nitrogen dioxide gas and oxygen gas will be given. So till here it is no problem. Now the last two, that is the very weak metal, they will not give the oxide, they will give the simple metal, that is metal plus nitrogen dioxide gas plus oxygen. Let us take one example of this. I am taking one example of this category. Let us take zinc. Zinc nitrate 2 when heated gives zinc oxide plus NO2 plus O2. Both are gases. Okay. Now you balance it. Okay, because this is 2, 2 to the 4. Okay. Now coming to this, in spite of oxide, they will give the simple metal. So I am taking Ag, valency 1 I have taken, then nitrate also valency 1. So AgNO3 on heating, they will give what? Ag. They will not give AgO. Ag plus rest is okay. NO2 plus O2. So In this way now you balance it. 2, similarly 2, here also 2. I think it is getting balanced. So in this way we can see that the thermal decomposition of certain metal compounds, we can get the respective oxide and water vapor in case of hydroxide, metal hydroxide. In case of metal carbonates, we get the oxide of the metal plus carbon dioxide gas. In case of metal bicarbonates, we get the stable compound plus water vapor plus carbon dioxide gas. And in case of metal nitrates, we get the respective oxide plus nitrogen dioxide gas plus oxygen in case of the elements which are in the above of the activity series. And below metals which are much lower in the activity series, they give only the metal in place of metal oxides. So students, in this way we have done today the basic 2 types of chemical reactions. That is, the first is the synthesis, that is the combination reaction, direct combination reaction, and the second one is the decomposition reaction. So that's all for today. You keep learning, keep studying nicely since you are having the book nowadays. Have a good day. Thank you.